Okay, we are live for the first time in a year. Are we actually live? Can someone double check?
Yes.
Okay, we are. Okay. Do you know what? Genuinely, that's the biggest fear I think as a streamer. Like, I haven't had that fear for a long time, and it just comes flooding back instantly. That you sit there for 5 minutes talking to yourself.
And you're like, nobody's responding to what I'm saying.
Exactly. You just never know when this crap's going to go down, when things are going to go wrong. But this is legit the first time on this channel we've been live for a year. I've done some stuff, obviously, with Conman and Botch Guy, and obviously was it last week?
Yep.
I was on Abby's window. This is kind of a special Abby's window because obviously I'm joined by Jodie Gilly. If you don't know, Jodie, plug your show.
Okay, so I have a show every Monday at 6 p.m. on the Insiders Pro Wrestling channel on YouTube, where we really enjoy talking about Bray Wyatt. We've been doing it for almost 2 years now, a year and a half. So we talk about him every Monday and kind of do similar things that you do. We talk about theories and where it's all coming from, where it's going. So yeah, if you want to check us out on Monday, come check us out.
Awesome. They do some awesome theories over there as well. Like, I'm genuinely there most weeks because it's very fun. Obviously, we're all fans of Bray Wyatt. That's why we're here in the first place. Can I just make a point, Jodie? Just FYI.
What?
My thing might be wrong, but it tells me there's 400 people here.
Yep, 427.
Whew, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of lives, guys.
None of you got lives, have you? That's the honest truth. We all know it. Don't worry. We're in the same boat. That's why we're here. But we have to talk. Okay, there's so much to talk about. Obviously, the title, the thumbnail, you all know why we're here. I've done so many videos. Jodie, you theorized this dramatically on Abby's. Mm-hmm. We've really, really taken to town with this. We need to ask you guys the question. Will Bray Wyatt return at SummerSlam? There's no right or wrong answer. We honestly don't know, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. We will try and get some comments done, but obviously there's a lot of people here. There's a lot for us to talk about, and we don't want to be sat here for 5 hours. Do you know what I mean? You'll be bored. We'll be bored. We might die.
We'd be bored. We'd just be tired.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Shout out to Botch Guy. He's in the chat. I just noticed Botch Guy here. There's a lot of maybes, a lot of yeses, a lot of hoping, a lot of people hoping he does come back. Well, just today, we did do a video on it, but there was a tweet. There was a tweet from Bray Wyatt. Mm-hmm. Jodie, do you want to read it?
It says, I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open.
Now, we worked out very quickly. That's Isaiah 22:22. Mm-hmm. And the interesting part is the picture is not. The picture is a picture referencing Dante's Inferno.
Yes.
And if you didn't know, Bray's done that many, many times throughout his career.
Isn't where that sign comes from to abandon all hope, ye who enter here? Yeah.
That's right, yeah. There's so many references to it. And I think a lot of people are fueling hope that this is a potential WWE return because it's the same thing. Now, obviously, we have to talk first, before we move on with that, about this. The change to the Twitter bio. Mm-hmm. And it clearly now says VKM. Mm-hmm. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I mean, who else?
It could be the Voodoo King Mafia. It could be BG James and Kip James coming back. I don't know. Yeah, could be a thing, but I think it's Vince.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think this tells us that he looks at Vince as kind of someone to admire, someone that inspired him, because this quote has been there for a while now, and it's something that you look at, and he's definitely taken inspiration to that to reinvent himself. Wouldn't you say?
That's why I didn't notice at first. People were like, "Oh, his bio changed." I'm like, "No, it didn't." That quote's been up there for a while, and they're like, "No, he put initials after it," and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, I think a lot of people felt like that too. Like, I noticed it pretty straight away, but I spoke to Joe, who also is on the Insiders, and again, he didn't notice the change because that tag has been there for ages. Just why reveal it's from Vince now and not at the time? Well, interestingly, there was a part of this that he left out. The end part talks about a father figure. Mm-hmm. And if you look at someone taking inspiration from someone, could that be why he left it out, but maybe put the father figure into his Twitter bio?
It's definitely possible. And, he said, not too long ago that he was tired of people talking and lying and all of that stuff. And, there was buzz around there that they did not have a good, that there was some bad blood there, but, maybe also
very true.
Saying
very true. And the thing is as well, like when Bray,
so yeah, that could be his way of saying, this is full of crap. He definitely was a father figure. There wasn't any bad blood there. I think he lost his internet, so he'll be back in a minute. So what was interesting about that, because we were talking about it earlier, I have a friend who's a pastor, and he was the first person that I contacted, and I said, Elijah, I have to know the backstory on this. And I'll read you guys what he said. He said that he doesn't have a ton of knowledge about that specifically. But that particular verse from Isaiah 22, is also referenced in Revelation 3:7. So I went and looked up that one too. Are you back?
I think I'm back.
Okay, good. I was talking about that, what Elisha told me earlier. So he says that it's referenced in Revelation 3:7, and Jesus refers to himself a lot as having keys. So the keys of life, the keys of death, the keys to the kingdom of God. And then that verse in Revelation 3:7, which says almost exactly the same thing. What he opens, no one can shut. What he shuts, no one can open. And that ultimately it's a reference to the power of resurrection, which I thought was interesting.
It definitely plays into it's going to be a new side of him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I will just fill people in the chat that might have missed it. Yes, my internet sucks. It sucked all week. I have no idea how I'm coping in life right now. And this is the reason why I took precautions and ensured that Jodie was doing this with me, because if I was doing it alone right now, we'd be gone. The stream would be over. We'd all be gone home, and we'd be very sad. So, we're here. We're We're going. We're going to keep going. I'll probably crash again very soon, but that's okay. Jodie's here. Jodie's got you. Just means you can't change the pictures.
So if you read a little bit more into that verse in Revelation, Revelation 3:8, which is the verse after it, says, I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and not denied my name, which I thought was really interesting too. It also says, I'll make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars, which Bray has said a lot of times before. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep from you the hour of trial. So, and that's Revelation, which references Isaiah 22:22, as well. So there's a lot going on there. Just so few words, but says so much.
Yeah, totally. I think the thing is as well, when you talk about keys, obviously, I said it on my video earlier. First thing everyone in the chat, people are mentioning this. It's this lock. Like, in the middle of the cryptic promos was this lock, completely at random, and there are 3 knocks on the door. Now, I found this very interesting because the week after this promo aired, WWE re-uploaded it a second time. And when they did, this was the image they used on the thumbnail. This is something...
There he goes again. So, yeah. Talking about the lock, that's the thumbnail that they used. I I did notice too that I've been going through and watching some of Bray's old promos, like old as in like 2013. And
oh my God. Do you know what I think's happening? I think we're getting everything right, and Vince McMahon is trying to silence us.
Yeah. But that the knocking thing was in one of his really, really, really old promos. Remember that?
Yeah, I totally do. Yeah.
So I mean, it's almost to the point where, oh my gosh, we have 603 people. It's almost to the point that it's, I don't want to say it's too obvious, but it's too coincidental at this point. There's so many little things pointing to Bray. We all know Edge is involved. I mean, yeah, we know that. But is it Edge alone? You know,
Yeah.
I definitely think he needs someone to come back with him to either be his tag team partner, help him go up against Judgment Day, or, you know, a swerve where he brings someone with him and they turn on him. I don't know. But there's so many little things that point to Bray, and you know, Bray is the master of cryptics. So he either posted that tweet today, you know, to play along with it, I guess. But you know, he could have posted it too to confirm a few things. You just never know when it comes to Bray. He's one of those everything means something kind of people. So I don't know.
I think the thing is to remember here. Now, we could be wrong. It might not be Bray, okay? But I think the one thing we have to remember is Bray built his entire career on being cryptic and dark and people not knowing the truth.
Yeah.
Right now, he could be watching us. If you are, hello, Bray.
Hi, Bray.
He follows me. He follows you on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
We both publicly say that we think this could be him in these things. And obviously, no one's, like, Bray Wyatt himself has not said, no, it's not. And I'm guaranteeing you, if it's not, he's loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said that to Chris in the car on the way home. I said, if it's not him, the fact that he's been trending on Twitter pretty consistently since he got released last year is great. You know, he's got to be loving that. Like, he's been gone for almost a year and we're still talking about him.
Yeah, 100%. And I will just say, okay, so normally with Abby's, it's hosted by Abby herself and, of course, Jeff. Now, Jeff obviously is working. Congratulations on the new job, Jeff. But he did want me to share a theory he had. So he posted this, and I know Insiders Pro Wrestling posted this on Twitter as well. But it says, what if the promos aren't for Edge at all? What if the promos target Edge and it's the announcement of Edge as the target? It changes the way you look at them. I think he could be onto something there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would make a lot of sense that, you know, they're building up Edge, but we don't know it's Edge because Edge doesn't know it's Edge. What if this is all put together by Bray, recapping Edge's career, ready to target Edge?
I mean, that's definitely possible. It's a different way to look at all of those promos. And it may make you analyze things a little bit differently. So, you know, and it's not the first time that Bray has done things like that.
Well, I think it would give a lot of credibility because if he targets Edge, you've got to think of the possibility of him joining the Judgment Day. And if you want to make the Judgment Day credible, they lost a lot when they lost Edge.
They did.
But what if they gain Bray freaking Wyatt? You know, that's a huge coup. Everyone's going to be watching that then. So,
and somebody brought it up earlier on Twitter. I don't remember exactly who it was about. You know, Bray having the angel wings on his back, tattooed on his back, and him saying that the angel with burnt wings is waiting to wave you on home, and the logo for Judgment Day is wings.
Yeah. 100%. I wish you'd have told me that before, because I would have found the image. We've got an image of Edge. We'll be his angel wings.
There you go. That looks funny.
It does, right? Now you've seen it, you can't unsee it, can you?
No.
But the thing is, I think that's a good point. This is something that potentially has been set up, and if you go by some of the dirt sheet rumors and stuff, there was some reports that Bray had meetings with WWE around WrestleMania time.
Mm-hmm.
The timing would fit.
It sure would.
I think that's really interesting. The fact that all these promos, the tweet, all this stuff is something that you can always tie back to Bray. There's not been a single thing which you can't.
Right. No.
And it's bizarre to me. We have a super chat. I will put it on the screen, but I'm trying to do it. There you go. Retro. Hello, dude. He says, got to show support to my con community, brother. Thank you so much, Retro. Okay, let's move on. Jodie. Someone found this, and I've got to give him a shout out. Firefly on my Discord server found this. Jesse, I know you're in the chat. You were earlier, at least. If you could post a link to the Discord, it would be really appreciated. So after Raw on Monday, we do voice chats. Obviously, after pretty much Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, we do voice chats. Mm-hmm. We do them before, but we do them after. And we've been breaking down the promo. Every week, we've been breaking it down. And Firefly, more so than anyone, I've got to shout out Coaster Maniacs, Aesthetic Fiend, etc. They were amazing on Monday. But Firefly found this. The light bulb.
Yes. And that light bulb is there so many times. Like Bray has used, there's one promo that he is literally like cradling that light bulb. Back when he was just starting the cult leader Bray gimmick before he put dreads in his hair. And Clay Gamble just said Bray followed WWE back. Did he ever unfollow them?
He did.
Oh. We're gonna have to double check that one, because
he certainly did.
That's an interesting development if he followed them back. Interesting. But yeah, there are so many promos where
that's quite interesting if it's true.
Yeah. So many promos where he's cradling that light bulb and using that light bulb. And, you know, it's not just that particular light bulb. In the new vignettes, there's a circle in one of them. Which,
I haven't got that picture. I wasn't that prepared.
But there's a circle in one of them, and Bray's all about circles. He talks about it. Life is a circle. Everything's a circle, you know, and he made his, you know, debut at SummerSlam. The Fiend made his debut at SummerSlam, and now we're coming up on SummerSlam again, and all this is kind of exploding. So, you know, they've also said that SummerSlam is going to be TV 14. So something big is.
I will make a sing there though. Little thing. It was TV 14. It's now listed as PG, and then it was TV 14 again. Now it's PG again. It keeps changing, so I don't know.
Yeah, and them announcing too that just Raw was going to be TV 14, not SmackDown. Yeah. Just Raw.
Although, I don't know if you noticed, if you watched SmackDown on Friday, there was a lot of references to SmackDown itself being TV 14. So maybe they are going to do that. Shout out to Harry, by the way, for the £1 super chat. Shout out to you, dude. Yeah. If you haven't already, by the way, check out Jess's comment and click the link. You can join us immediately on Discord. It's free. You don't have to pay anything or join anything. Just join us over there. Have fun. There's lots of channels to talk in, and we do voice chats pretty much every day. Honestly, I'll tell you guys the truth, okay? The reason I stopped live streaming was obviously when Bray left, Funhouse Friday was dead. But we started doing Discord. And when we started doing Discord, I can talk to you guys in a voice chat, and you can actually talk back. Like, it's not just me talking to you for an hour, you know?
Yeah. It's fun. I try to pause it as often as I can.
Shout out to Jessie as well, who drops a super chat. She wanted a shout out. I know she did.
So, What the Luck is saying, I can confirm he is following WWE now.
I need to run the. Oh, it's already running. I already played it earlier and I forgot to mention it. We're running a Yowie Wowie banner at the bottom. There you go. Because that's a Yowie Wowie moment for sure. But let's put the old one back on. There you go. But yeah, I honestly, I think it's interesting. I do think there's more to this than meets the eye. Now, there is the rumor of Karrion Kross as well. And obviously, if you saw this image on the promo from Monday, you'll know what I mean. Because a lot of people have found the fact that this was used in a Karrion Kross NXT promo. Not the fire, just the skull. Mm-hmm. Do you think it is? But before you answer that, I need to do a shout out to Tyler Young. And he says he's from Twitter. If he comes back at SummerSlam, how do you think it will happen? You guys rock. Thank you. We will get around to answering that question. It's on a list. It's made the list. Tyler Young, you just made the list.
I mean, it's common knowledge that he does have that tattoo of a skull on his hand that was done by the wonderful Kyle Scarborough, who's a good buddy of mine. But I don't know. I mean, I think it would be really neat if Kross was involved too. But the big difference here is the fire.
Yeah.
So, there's been a lot of skull references, misfits, things like that. So I think this could mean a number of things, not necessarily relating to just Kross.
I agree. The way I looked at this was there was something thrown into the fire and a demon was emerging. The spirit of a demon was emerging from it.
Mm-hmm. Which we've seen that in horror movies all the time.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's very interesting because this is the thing about these cryptic things. And one thing we can say is normally we say, WWE aren't this creative. If this isn't Bray Wyatt, yes, they are. Like, we've all been, there's 700 people in this chat right now.
741.
Wow. Crazy numbers. Shout out to you, Hanzo. He says, hey, my two favorite friends, do you think that mask painting on the wall is his drawing come to life, or is that his new mask? What do you think, Jodie?
I think it could be, something that was used for inspiration for the mask. I think it's a little too cartoonish. It could be a cartoonish version of his new persona if that's what he's going to do. It's it's kind of like we've said before, it's the 6th installment of his character, so it may have vibes of the Fiend. Me, I tried to get info out of Jason Baker, but he's and I wouldn't want him to tell me anything. Bray is one of those people, I respect his privacy, and I know that he likes for people he likes to see people's natural reactions and, surprise reactions. So I wouldn't want him to tell me anything. I wouldn't expect any of his friends that I know to tell me anything either. But I did send that picture to Jason, and I was like, man, this is like creepy vibes. And we started talking about Edge a little bit, because didn't make a lot of sense to him why Edge was being repackaged either. I think he said something like Edge being repackaged from his repackaging.
Yeah. I think the thing is as well, you look at what the dirt sheets reported when Edge got kicked out of Judgment Day, and it was that.
Oh, there he goes again.
So,
your internet really does suck. Like, his internet really sucks.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Oh, am I back? Right.
Yes.
God, I'm close to this one.
Your internet really does suck. But, I would definitely hope that if he comes back with a new kind of mask that Jason is involved and Tom Savini is involved, because obviously if you guys have seen the Black Phone, which Jason and Tom Savini did the masks for that, I mean, the amount of detail and hard work that these gentlemen put into what they're doing, along with Bray, obviously. Zachary Show, I think Bray and Edge are returning Monday to set up a 6-man tag team with Ray against Balor, Priest, and Dominic at SummerSlam. See, that's my only caveat, because we kind of all know. Are you back now?
I think I'm back, yeah. Okay. Shout out to Zachary, FYI. I was able to pin his comment, but it wouldn't let me talk, which was stupid.
So, because we know that SummerSlam is kind of Bray's show, I don't really see him returning on Monday. I think if he does, it's going to be at SummerSlam.
I have a theory for that. Let's get to the super chats first. So Zachary says, I think Bray and Edge are returning Monday to set up the 6-man tag. Mm-hmm. And Tyler says this is to help C upgrade his internet. Believe me, tomorrow, literally tomorrow, I have a new hub coming, because it's my current, you Americans call it a router, don't you?
Yep.
We call it a router. So I have a new one of them coming, but it's an actual proper hub. So
I don't know why I answered that, because I'm not American.
No, I know you're not, but you are in America, so it counts. Yeah. But yeah, so little theory for you, okay? Raw is on the 25th, yeah? Mm-hmm. Did you ever count the dots on Bray Wyatt's profile?
Oh, God, really?
25.
There's 25 dots. Is it 25 dots now, or was it?
I don't know what it was before, but it's 20. It was 25 when I counted earlier. Huh. I mean, let's actually. I'm making people go to Twitter. No, don't do the stream. You can do it. You can count them here.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, you're counting the threes together, not separately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Now, I wonder, because if it was to put the business inquiries thing on another line, I'm sorry, Wyndham, he wasn't very successful. I love you. You can see, I'm not going to point it out.
But it hasn't been. It's been like that.
Right? But here's the thing. If it's... I wonder if we're meant to be distracted by the begin again and the dots that could be...
I mean, it's definitely possible. Begin again, kid, it's what you do. So also, if that's a Vincent Kennedy McMahon quote, when did he say that to him?
That's a really good one.
I mean, was that something that, you know, he said when he was released? Was it something he said when he left after being cult leader Bray, before he came back as the Fiend? I mean, and it's interesting that he says it that way. Like, it's what you do. Like, Bray is a master at reinventing himself.
Yeah. Zachary says the 6 could stand for a 6-man tag.
Mm-hmm. Is it Bray's 6th SummerSlam?
I've just seen a comment that was really, really interesting. Where's that gone? There you go. Off the top says the quote has 25 letters. Is that true?
What? The quote has 25 letters.
13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. Oh my God.
Wow.
Now, is that a coincidence?
I think
that's a hell of a coincidence if you just done random dot and got the same number as the same amount as in the quote. Well done off the top. I didn't know. Why would I didn't even think of that?
Huh.
Hold on. We need a banner. We need a Wowie banner. There we go.
Everybody's complaining about your internet. There he goes again. let's not forget Triple H and Steph are now pulling a lot of strings, so maybe that's even more incentive for him to come back. Yeah, when all this story, the accusations came out about Vince and all of that stuff, and that he was going to be taking a backseat creatively, and Steph was stepping in, which means that Triple H is stepping in, and they've always had very high positive things to say about Bray Wyatt, and so there's just so much to unravel and so much to unpack. But I think we're at the point where I'm still not 100% confident that it's Bray involved. There's still that little doubt in the back of my head that maybe we're getting a little bit, getting our hopes up a little bit. And if we're wrong, then we're wrong. That's fine. But the whole point of this is that we've kept him in, we've kept people talking about him. There's almost 750 people in the chat talking about him. And, and that, that's something that he said to Alexa before he left, if that quote is true, that, keep it going. In his not memory, in his honor, you know what I mean? And, we've done that too. And, I've said before that he values us as much as we value him. And so it's been nice to continue to talk about him.
I agree.
He's a wonderful person. So
there's a lot of people saying F's in the chat for C's internet. Like, I agree. My internet sucks. Don't worry about it.
Your internet does suck. At least you're getting a new router tomorrow.
I've done this last week. It would have been perfect. Ever since middle of Monday Night Raw, it's been absolutely god awful.
Is it the heat? Maybe it's hot over there, isn't it?
It's the router. The whole thing just isn't sending out a proper wireless connection, so it just lags completely, and that's why I need the new one. But I've upgraded. I've actually spent some money, guys, and I've got.
We're getting a new air conditioner tomorrow.
I could do with one of them.
Well, when we built our house, since it was from a builder, and the base, they put the air conditioner on based on kind of like the square footage of the base model, but we added a bonus room upstairs, obviously, for all of the arcade games. So they didn't factor that in when they put our air conditioner in. So we actually need a bigger one because we like our house like a morgue. So, and it can't keep up with that. So they're coming out tomorrow and are going to spend about 4 hours putting in a bigger unit.
Cool. So Retro, he asked a really good question, and I'm going to ask the entire chat this. So spam your answers, okay? One word, okay? If Bray returns, should he be face, heel, or both?
I think he's always been both. There's parts of him.
What would you like him to be?
I'd like him to stay that way. I think there's parts of him that are face. There's parts of him that are heel. There's been times that he's gotten boos from the fans and cheers from the fans. And I enjoy people that are able to be flexible like that and make both of them work. I think Seth Rollins is another one that does very well with that, of kind of going in between. And I think
the chat's pretty clear. They want both. There's a lot of heels, but I think the majority there are saying both.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Hanzo says, so between us three and the other 700 and something people here, is the Fiend, it's a lot of people. Is the Fiend finished for good? Honestly, my opinion, no. I think the same thing could happen that happened with Cult Leader Bray.
Mm-hmm.
Where down the road it would make sense to bring the Fiend out and maybe use it as a special attraction just for that one-time show or something.
Mm-hmm. And it'll just as much as when you were fans of Cult Leader Bray and he brought him back with the Braun Strowman feud and we all completely marked out, I think we might see something similar with that with the Fiend, that we might see moments or in particular feuds where he comes out. So
it's interesting.
It's very interesting. I think we got another super chat back there, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, he said he confirmed it is Bray Wyatt's 6th SummerSlam.
Okay, I will just confirm I can't see that super chat and I have no idea why.
Let me scroll back up and get it. Yeah, it was Zachary's show. He said, I checked, it will be his 6th SummerSlam.
Interesting. Well, the number 6 has come up quite a lot, hasn't it?
All the time. All the time.
Incredible. Head of the Table says, I sent a theory on Twitter. Would love to. I will read the info. If I go to Twitter, my phone might explode or something. But shout out to you, dude. Thank you for that. I will check out the theories, I promise. Send me a DM, literally saying stream theory or something that's going to catch my eye, and I'll make sure I do double check, and I will read it, I promise. Earlier on, I don't know if Jessie's still here, but if she can drop the link again to the Discord, that would be appreciated.
So how would we like to see him come back? I don't know if I was talking, were me and you talking about this on the phone about Edge coming back and saying that he didn't need any help on Raw, and saying that he didn't need any help. He was going to go after them alone, blah, 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 blah. And then comes out at SummerSlam and then says, I changed my mind. I brought somebody with me. I don't remember if I was talking to you about that or my husband about that. I've talked to so many people about all of these different possibilities, and my husband's getting real into it. And, we've been digging into these old promos. So.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Yes, you're back.
Honestly, this is ridiculous. Jeff, next time, do not be working.
Somebody said something. Somebody asked you a question that made me laugh, and now I got to find it.
You see, with my internet lag, all the previous comments. So,
somebody said, "Yo, see, what's the smelliest smell you ever smelled?"
Your mum.
Oh,
I don't know who said that, but it was your mum.
Oh, I work in healthcare. I run a hospital, and I'm going to tell you right now, the worst thing I've ever smelled. I can't say that it's the worst, but it's the most distinctive smell you'll ever smell if you work in healthcare, and that is C. diff. Wounds smell pretty bad. Those kind of make my stomach turn a little bit. Oh, he keeps disappearing. Dude, your internet really does suck. Oh my gosh.
I did tell you.
I thought you were overestimating.
I did.
We have 756 people right now.
There is 756 people in this world now, probably more people come and go, that know my internet absolutely freaking sucks. And yet somehow I do a YouTube channel. Bizarre.
Well, it didn't always suck.
True.
And so, hopefully after tomorrow, it won't suck anymore. So, have WWE actually confirmed that Edge is coming on Monday? Or is that just a rumor?
It's a Brian Alvarez thing, I think.
Oh, well.
I think it was a Brian Alvarez. I will also say, wait, someone just said, see, Bray is here. What?
What?
What? Why are people? What? There's multiple people saying Bray is here. Why is that?
What?
I don't know. Does that mean Bray? Why would Bray be here? He's probably sitting there on some beach somewhere.
What?
Bray in the chat. It's not Bray. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
It might be. It
Have to
might
have
be.
a complete meltdown. Where the heck did that come from? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I see it. Huh.
I mean, you know, you never know. But he could put a tweet out and confirm it's him. I'll be fine if it's him, but it probably won't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shoot me a message and let me know that's you. Oh, man. Ugh.
Okay. Right. Moving on. There was this picture.
Yes.
And this was at the end of one of the promos, pretty much. And a lot of people can say they see a face.
I think from far away, like this, you can kind of see why they would do that. I mean, if you go with that part that you said was Mercy's beak, I mean, that could be a left eye-ish. So, I mean, I could definitely see why they would think that from far away, but I think you were more accurate with it being Mercy.
The Mercy thing interests me because you can literally drop the Mercy picture without manipulating.
Right.
And it fits perfectly. Now, that could be WWE because they like to control us. It might be pure coincidence.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, I see what people say about the face, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing it does remind me of is his Instagram photo.
Yeah.
The artwork that he did. Do you know the one with the brain coming out of his head and stuff?
Yes.
It does sort of resemble that to me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I mean, I can see what people are saying.
I mean, and did you notice the C changed like throughout the promo? At first, when he first started writing it, it looked like a 6, and then that little piece was gone later on. I don't know if that was just because they did multiple takes or anything like that, but he's making our brain spin. But,
so I've got a super chat here, but it won't let me put it on the screen, and I don't know why. But shout out to you, Jay Ranks. He says, "What if Bray targets Edge because he's legend? Remember when he attacked legends like Mick Foley, Kurt Angle, and Jerry Lawler?"
Oh, I loved that. I loved it when he did that. Like, that was my favorite part of the Fiend character, is this, you never knew where he was going to pop up, when he was going to pop up, who he was going to go after. Like, he was just all over the place. And I loved that mystery about him, that he just, it was almost like he just did whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. And it was absolutely beautiful that way. I think that's the way that he thrives, you know, and he feeds off of the fans so much that, you know, those moments were just so magical.
Shout out to you, Jose Rodriguez.
What connection does Edge have with Bray? Edge and Bray have a long history.
Oh, they do. Like, there was those promos they did together.
Yep, they did promos together. That's where they had the that really funny Goldilocks story time. That was so funny. I forget what Edge said at the end, but I remember it just making me laugh. I forget what he said. It was like,
I can't remember what he said.
He was like, well, that was uncomfortable or unsatisfying. That's what he said. He was like, well, that was unsatisfying. And I just loved it. Like, they interacted so well with each other. They just kind of, it's almost like they kind of fed off each other. And I love that, you know, and if he comes back with him, you know, Bray and Finn have a lot of history. There's a lot going on there.
I like that idea. Bray versus Edge at WrestleMania.
Ooh. Don't tease me.
I think that's a lot of people see.
I would like that. Stop making our brains work so hard, Bray. Yeah, he's good at that. He really does. And obviously, you know him too. See, like he likes to keep people on their toes.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't know him personally, you know that about him.
I mean,
You're breaking up again.
nine its edge, but we're questioning the motives.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the important part with all of this. We're questioning things. We're talking about things. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what he, like Joe Shipley Daniel NCFC just said, Bray's so good at being creative. He's always been that way. I mean, Bray versus Edge at WrestleMania, first blood match.
I mean, if they're not TV PG, it's possible.
I like that. I would also like, I think that strap match that he had with Daniel Bryan was so awesome. I'd like to have another one of those.
Yeah.
I would like to see him, what if...
That's a really good point, actually. Amazing Guy just put into the chat. Do you remember the rumor that Fiend and Alexa were supposed to face Edge and Beth at WrestleMania? They were indeed, yeah. That was the rumor.
Yes, I do remember that.
Henny says, what if Alexa put a curse on Bray at Mania and traps his soul in the Jackbox Mania? Hence he lost Jack in the Box Mania. Hence he lost so quickly. I mean, what was it we were talking about? The rumors that actually into his theme song.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember we were saying? I can't remember what exactly we were saying, but it's like he goes to the top of the stairs. He's in a crypt, so he won't see the sun again. Like you can literally do all of this, and the whole thing of being broken out in love was Alexa and Bray a love story. I mean, I remember WWE doing a tweet with Bad Romance playing in it with that. So maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. If he does come back, it would be nice to get a better understanding of what exactly happened at WrestleMania. I mean, all we saw was Alexa sitting on top of that box with that black stuff streaming down her face and him looking at her, and then poof, everything's gone. And you're like, you kind of just sat there afterwards and went, what the fuck was that?
So Retro says, theory, Edge tells us he's found Fiend, but not Bray. It's storyline. It turns out that the Fiend has taken over and won't allow Bray out.
I like that.
That would be.
Yeah.
King Gerhard says, will the real Bray Wyatt also speak here? I highly doubt it. I'd love him to. I mean, Wyndham, I mean, I can send you the link. Just tell us. I mean, I'm not checking DMs, so make it public because then people can tell me. But message Jodie.
He can message me and I'll send
Jodie's got better internet.
I have had conversations with him about allowing me to interview him for Abby's.
Don't you find it strange, though? He's done nothing.
Yes.
Like, from what we understand, the Cult of Wyndham was supposed to be a podcast.
Right, but that never happened. And, he kind of said something similar to that when I had a conversation with him about it. He said, he kind of said something like, well, I haven't done any interviews yet. And I was like, I know. Everybody wants to hear your story. Everybody wants to hear it. So, what if he meant by that, because he said, I have a story to tell. I'm like, I know, we all want to hear it. What if that wasn't necessarily doing interviews? He has a story to tell, just where?
Conman167 says, in your personal opinion, is Bray coming back? Yes or no? Shout out to you, Con. If you haven't already, by the way, check out Conman on Twitch because it's been hella fun over there. The streams, The live chat especially is so much better. Really stepped his game. It's very fun. But I've got to say, yes. And I'm only, yes.
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of right in the middle still. Like, there's a big part of me that thinks yes. There's a big part of me that thinks no. I'm not confident in either side, like one side or the other. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm doing it purely out of hope because I think he's a very intelligent man, and I think if you watch AEW, these kind of gimmicks are something they love at the start, and then they just give up on very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all the confidence that he could make it work there.
Oh yeah.
But you can have all the creative freedom in the world if you get a 30-second promo, and that's it. What are you supposed to do? And that's one of the criticisms I have of this kind of character. AEW do a lot of stuff right, but that's not one of them yet. Bray could be the catalyst to change that, though.
He could be. I have less confidence in that than I do of him coming back to WWE.
Jodie, I need to ask you. I saw someone comment this a minute. In the picture, do you think the person stood holding the Fiend holding his head?
The person stood on the rock is what? Holding a head? I mean, it looks like a head. I don't really know. I don't really know a whole lot about Dante's Inferno. Just kind of little things here and there. But yeah, I would say the person on the rock is definitely holding a decapitated head. And then the person on the ground kind of looks like he has a crown on. The person that's standing below the rock with the cloak on, it kind of looks like he has a crown on.
In the actual picture, because this has obviously been changed to look red. In the actual picture, there's actually two people stood there, but it's really hard to work that out from that picture.
For real?
There is two people stood there.
Huh.
And a lot of people have asked me today if that could represent Edge and Alexa Bliss. Because one does seem to be a woman.
Interesting.
It is.
Someone said that it's the lantern.
Could be.
Is it a Fiend lantern?
Oh, hold on. I think it's you go. If Bray does return with Edge, would Bliss rejoin?
I think it depends. If they're gonna get into a feud with Judgment Day at first, it would depend when Rhea Ripley comes back. I definitely could see her joining them for the time being, to be like that kind of 3-on-3. I don't know. I know that, Alexa has said she would love to work with him if he ever came back, which, I can't really blame her for that. I probably say the same thing too. I don't know what happened to Rhea. She got hurt, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey Graves said Alexa is missing something still. I wonder. I wonder if how he came out with the Fiend came out with a Bray lantern. I wonder if his next incarnation will come out with a Fiend lantern.
That would be cool.
Uh-huh. Because he talked, I mean, you know, Funhouse Bray talked to it a couple of times, a few times about you had your chance. And you could definitely see Bray's new character, that sixth incarnation, could be a Fiend lantern, and he could say the same thing. Like, you had your chance. You failed.
Yeah. What do you think of the idea of him coming back that's not part of Edge?
Like, not coming back with Edge?
Yeah, someone put a comment in there saying Bray returns at SummerSlam and takes out both Roman and Brock.
I would enjoy that, but the reason I don't think that's going to happen has nothing to do with Bray. There's 666 people in the chat.
I'll done. That's a yowie
everywhere.
Yowie banner.
So there's, the reason why I don't think that's going to happen, it has nothing to do with Bray. It's because I really think the Austin Theory is going to cash in. I think that Roman and Brock are going to beat the shit out of each other. I think Brock will win. And then Austin Theory is going to cash in.
Makes sense.
Don't know whether or not he's going to win, but
Sam says that he thinks it's Edge and Bray.
Mm-hmm. I think it's possible. Definitely possible. I don't know. Now there's 690. Boy, we jumped up fast.
There's a lot of people still talking about him following the WWE stuff on Twitter and stuff. A lot of people.
Interesting. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't remember when he unfollowed them.
I couldn't tell you when it was, but I know at one point he definitely wasn't. I know the main WWE account anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
What will be most interesting, does WWE follow him?
I believe so. Hold on, now I gotta go look.
iBeast says that they don't see Roman lose. Okay, I don't think Roman's going to lose, but I mean, an attack is possible. There's reports today, FYI for spoilers, that apparently, and it's not really a spoiler, it's apparently because no one truly knows, that Theory's success is going to be unsuccessful with the cash-in. So,
I definitely think he's cashing in, though.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see Roman. The way they've built him up, I don't see him still losing it anytime soon.
I don't know if they're waiting for Cody Rhodes, which is highly possible. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, there's part of me that thinks he could lose him at SummerSlam. It just, I don't know. He's going to have to lose him at some point. It's just, who's he going to lose him to? I could definitely see Paul Heyman turning on Roman at some point, which I think would be pretty interesting. He's kind of, not necessarily hinted at it, but he kind of, the way he announced Brock Lesnar, it was, he was definitely interesting with it. At first he was like, I'm so sorry. And then,
So Doom says, what if the gears are to the machine?
Yeah, I know we had talked about that too, about it being a reference to when he was talking about, being a machine and getting rid of the pains of being a man. I think that's highly possible. I don't think they follow him.
No, that's interesting.
I'm almost at the end of their following list, and I have not seen Bray yet.
Amazing Guy says, do you think Bray is trolling like before Hell in a Cell? No. If he was trolling, he'd tell you he'd be at SummerSlam. You watch SummerSlam, he's not there. Oh, and that's a troll. He's teased something. We don't know what that is. We are all just guessing.
No, they are not following him. Unless I missed it somewhere. But from what I can see, they are not following him.
Draven Dresden says, old promo, Bray told Roman, our paths will cross again when I'm fully revitalized. You have to send that to me, dude.
That's interesting.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, the Fiend character was about revenge. We don't know what the new character would be. Liam Gaiman says, if he does return, does he return with Edge? That's a good question.
I could see Edge, kind of like I said, Edge returning first and then bringing him into it.
That makes sense.
Because let's face it, if Bray comes out first, people aren't even going to notice that Edge is with him. No offense to Edge. I love Edge, but I mean, let Edge kind of have his spotlight first. Then if you bring Bray into it, you know he's going to get the attention from that. Bray will have a big moment. Yeah. He'll have a big pop all to himself.
I agree. Nate TV, and I really like this, and I hope my internet holds on for me to say this, but he says, see wrestling, do you think TV 14 will help the character? Yes.
Yep.
100%. Not just Bray, everybody. So you look at Braun Strowman. Braun was this monster, and he could only do so much. And when they got to that limit, the only way to go was to dumb it down. TV 14 allows them to go even further. And someone like Braun Strowman would have benefited dramatically from TV 14.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I definitely think the 14 would benefit him.
If he returns.
Character. So
Royal asks if he returns, does he return as Wyatt 6 or the Fiend? I don't think Wyatt 6 is a character. I think it's the 6th incarnation of Wyatt. Even if it's AEW, I think we're just going to get Wyatt and he will be whatever the next incarnation is.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a placeholder. Personally.
Yes, Braun is still in Control Your Narrative. Sean Bradshaw says, do we think Edge Bray would be as much of a good faction as such? It has potential. I think the thing is, don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Don't just make them fight people like the Viking Raiders, and maybe don't keep them together for too long.
Yeah. I think there's a possibility and potential there for them to be both. Kind of like you said, to kind of start off together and then have a feud.
Yeah. So Kyle says WWE Fox, Edge, Death, Balor follow Bray, and he follows them. Just check to confirm. I'm sure a lot of those are people that he's friends with. Obviously, he worked in WWE for a long time.
He did, and I know he's close with a lot of people. And I can't imagine just because he left WWE that those friendships would end. So.
Yeah, I agree.
From what I've heard other people say about him in the locker room, like he's one of the nicest people. I mean, he is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet because I know him. But, that was kind of the locker room reputation he had too.
Jesse asked, does Braun still have that ridiculous hairstyle?
I don't know.
I haven't seen him for ages, so
Yeah.
I'd assume so.
Huh.
Henny says, I honestly think Bray, Samael, and Lexa's Lilith storyline isn't over yet. In Tex, apparently, Lilith and Samael had an actual marriage ceremony. Okay. I will say this as well. I said this to Jodie earlier. What if you're going down that spiritual, demonic, religious aspect to this storyline? What is Edge's first name?
Adam.
And who was the first human?
Adam.
And could you tie that into a spiritual sense that?
Oh yeah. Well, remember Bray's last promo? He was preaching.
Yeah.
And exorcising demons.
Mike H says Bray retweeted Slipknot new album. Maybe that's got a new song on. I think so. Maybe it's a possibility because didn't he want Slipknot as his theme song before Code Orange?
I heard that rumor. Yeah.
I mean, if he's going back and he's got the authority to say, I want this, I want that, it's possible. But I will say this, he is a fan of Slipknot. So it could just be he's trying to promote them any way he can.
Yeah, we know Bray's kind of a rock heavy metal fan.
Oh my God, there's apparently over 500 likes and I haven't even asked. Guys, hit the like button. Let's see how many more we can get right now I ask. That's insane. Honestly, I'm still blown away. There is currently 600 plus people here. That's ridiculous. That's insane for a random Thursday. And I planned this an hour before it went live. That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, 100%. This is what the Bray fandom does. And if you didn't already, make sure you do go and check out the Insiders channel because Jodie does this every Monday. And I know for a fact she'd love to see you all there as well, doing the same thing. Liam Gaming says, so what do you think about the new pic he tweeted recently? We did cover it, but let's go back to the tweet. It's that one. I honestly think it's some kind of reference.
Yeah. Dan just messaged me about Dante's Inferno. He said, what did he say? Hold on. Bertrand de Born is the guy in the picture holding the head. Dante believes that de Born is in the 9th Bolgia? I don't know. Of schematics for causing Henry the Young King's rebellion against his father, Henry II. De Born is decapitated as a contrapasso for his supposed act of political decapitation and undermining a rightful head of the state.
Wow.
So it was a political thing, apparently.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All this talk of head. And no, I'm not going there, don't worry. All this talk of head makes me wonder
if what?
It makes me wonder if there's something to do with Roman, with him being the head of the table.
It's definitely possible.
I mean, how do you stop the head of the table? Chop the head off.
Yeah. Yeah. Or let somebody else chop his head off.
True. Very true. Wow. We've been live for an hour and you guys are still here. That's incredible. Liam Gaming, man. Shout out to you. I love doing that Things You Might Have Missed series. It's honestly the funnest thing I've done on YouTube, bar the theories. It's fun. It's a fun little way to look back at the shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like watching those. We look forward to them too.
Deanna says, it all goes back. Oh, I just lost a comment now. I hate this thing. It's jumped so much. It all goes back to anyone but you, Roman.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he do one of his promos that he did was somebody asking him about what that means, anyone but you? That was that eerie conversation. Was it the eerie conversation he had with Michael Cole?
I believe so, yeah.
And he was talking about him being a god and That was a creepy promo. I think that was the one where he was talking about anyone but you, Roman. But
Head of the table says, OMG, OMG, OMG. I know what the circle represents. Life is a full circle. SummerSlam, Roman attacked Bray in 2020. It all comes full circle 2022.
It's definitely possible. But, I mean, that circle keeps on going because the Fiend debuted at SummerSlam against Finn Balor, who is now part of the Judgment Day.
Yeah. Ed says he loves all the speculating, especially since it's a slow day at work. Go to work! Oh, that's funny. I do think we're going to wrap it up, though. I think we've been here an hour, and my internet is obviously on its last legs. And I'm surprised the stream just didn't fully crash, to be fair. I'm really pleased.
We did it!
I'm really pleased with it, because if not, my God, things could have gone awfully wrong. I think we've covered everything. We discussed the lock. We discussed all of that. We discussed the skull in the fire. We discussed the thing on the mirror. We discussed, obviously, the new Twitter bio being with the new quote we now know from Vince McMahon, the tweet from earlier today as well. And we also the light bulb. Shout out to Firefly on Discord. He found this. This is incredible. I think there's enough references to warrant thinking he's going to return. And honestly, I know people say, "Oh, I don't want to get my hopes up and stuff," and I wouldn't worry about that. I would be more concerned of, are you enjoying yourself? If you get caught up in something for a month and you enjoy the fact that Bray could be coming back, good, because it's entertainment.
Yep. Are you not entertained right now?
Probably not with my internet, but you've done a good job.
Yeah. But are we not enjoying this? We're thoroughly entertained. We're enjoying, keeping him being talked about, and it keeps people talking about him. We get to keep up having hope that maybe someday he will come back. At some point he will come back. So it's been a nice, I'm sure he appreciates that too, that a year later and we're still talking about him.
And that's it. When he hasn't been on TV since April of last year. And yet there is around 600 people sat here talking about him. At one point, I think the highest it tells me right now, we had over 800. And it's a random Thursday. There's no wrestling tonight. Obviously, Impact Wrestling's on, but the main big shows are not on tonight. And yet people are still hyped and still talking.
Yes, Emerito, I do have a YouTube channel. I am part of the Insiders Pro Wrestling channel on YouTube. I have a show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern called Abby's Window, and all we do is talk about Bray.
Easy fun hack for you guys. If you want to search it very quickly, just literally type the words Abby's Window into YouTube, Abby with a Y, and you will find it instantly. It comes up first search result.
We do get a little off topic right at the beginning to talk about my favorite singer, and that's Caleb's Corner. So we take just a couple minutes at the beginning to talk about him and what he's doing, where he's on tour, and the rest is all about Bray. So
it's a very good show. You guys should definitely check it out. Shout out to Ryan. Karrion Kross also says, has Bray been listed as a current superstar? I don't believe so. I would have to double check.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Before we go, have we got some big news?
Hold on.
If this is a thing, I'm ending this stream and starting a video.
WWE.com.
Zachary says he has.
Superstars.
If he has, wait. Amazing Guy says, check Discord. I can't check Discord. Tell me. I can't check anything. My internet. Alicia says no, she's checked. He is off alumni, says Tony. Hold on, what is going on? Are you guys trolling? You guys are trolling, aren't you? You know what's going to happen? My internet's going to go and I'm never going to find out the answer.
I'm trying to find it. All I
James
can see
Chadwick
on the
says
page
not
is
in the list of stars on the app. Kyle says no.
current superstars.
Illstorm says he's off the alumni section. Kahi says he is. Giving people hopes up. He is listed. Christopher says he is. Jesse, if you can send the Discord link again, I'd appreciate that. Louis says no. Lennox says he is.
Yes, he is.
Is he?
It says superstar stats Bray Wyatt.
Right. I might cut out this, Jodie. I'm warning you. I'm going to risk it. Okay, this is too big to not check.
Hold on. That's if I search for him. He comes up. Let me look if he's actually like in the list.
Check the alumni section.
I don't see him in the list of current superstars. Let me look at. There isn't an alumni section.
I've got it. I'm looking. He's on the app. He's in the alumni section. Whew. Right, you trolls, you evil trolls.
Oh, that was from the shop. Oh, I was about to have a freaking heart attack.
Say, WWE are probably like, "Hey, look, they're live. Let's do it now."
Oh my gosh.
Well, we are going to be wrapping it up, though, on that note, before we get trolled again. But, guys, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. Follow Jodie on Twitter at
Jodie, Jodie, and then Deb spelt with 2 B's. So JODIEDEBB.
Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Insiders Pro Wrestling, where Jodie does this every single Monday. I hope you guys have had fun with this. I hope, this has just been some speculation. Obviously, as well, first live stream in an entire year, which is incredible. It's just short of a year, actually. The last one was Bray's release, so
yeah,
it's just shy of a year. We might be doing this, though, next week, roughly, for him returning.
I hope so.
Oh, boy.
I hope so.
It would be fun, wouldn't it? It would be fun. So, guys, before you leave, I need to ask you the question one more time. Will Bray Wyatt return at SummerSlam? Put your answers in the comments, the live chat, whatever way you want to do it. Back tomorrow for things you might have missed. SmackDown. There'll probably be a video over the weekend as well, so make sure you've got your notifications turned on. From me, from Jodie, peace!